It's 5:30.
Oh, my.
We used some of ours for that same thing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 5:30, and I will call this regular meeting of the Burnsville City Council to order. And if the clerk can note that all council members are present, it is our tradition to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and we invite you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are in a COVID environment, and we continue to look for creative solutions for how we can continue to communicate and engage with the citizens and businesses of our community. Tonight's meeting is being conducted in person. Our city council members and staff are in the council chambers and practicing social distancing. Members of the public may attend in person if they like. They may also watch this meeting online at burnsvillemn.gov/meetings or Comcast channel 16 or 859. If you would like to participate during the meetings remotely, you may join online at zoom.us/join or call in at 651-372-8299. Callers will need to dial star 9 to raise their hand to speak and dial star 6 to unmute when we open a time for your comments. More information is available on our meeting webpage and in the council agenda packets. The next item on the agenda is announcements, and we have one proclamation. Our announcements have to do with all of our upcoming meetings. Council meetings are scheduled for Monday, November 2nd at 5:30 p.m. And the reason for having the meeting on Monday rather than Tuesday, our regular date, is because of the elections, and we're not allowed to hold meetings during an election. And then Tuesday, November 17th at 5:30 p.m. We have a work session. We have two work sessions scheduled: Tuesday, October 27th at 5:30 and Tuesday, November 10th at 5:30. We have a special work session to canvass the general election results scheduled for Friday, November 13th at 1 p.m. And this time every year is a very special time for us here in Burnsville. It's when we recognize community builders. And our proclamation is for Make a Difference Day. Whereas serious social problems concern our nation and threaten its future, and whereas connecting with others and working together through volunteer service can bridge the difference that separate people and help solve serious social problems, and whereas we, the American people, have a tradition of philanthropy and volunteerism, and whereas since 1992, volunteers and communities have come together on this day with a single purpose: to improve the lives of others. And the people of Tegna, with support from Arby's Foundation and Points of Life, have joined to promote an annual National Day of Doing Good that celebrates and strengthens the spirit of volunteer service. And whereas volunteer service is an investment in the future, we all must share. Now, therefore, I, Elizabeth Couts, Mayor of the City of Burnsville, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim Saturday, October 24th, 2020, to be Make a Difference Day in Burnsville, and urge my fellow citizens to observe this day by connecting with friends, fellow employees and relatives, and with religious, school, and civic groups to engage in projects benefiting our community. Proclaimed this 20th day of October 2020. And now it's just my privilege and honor to present the Community Builders Award, and I'll do it here. And what we'll do is that when we call for the community builder to come in, come into the chambers, and then we will give the award and pin you with a star thrower, starfish, that is the symbol of making a difference. And then we'll take a picture. So tonight, okay. I think, yeah, I think we need to, yeah. I think this is better. Can you hear me outside? Okay, great. So tonight, the city of Burnsville celebrates the resilience, strength, and dedication of our diverse community as we present our annual Community Builders Award. We started this back in 1998, and we have recognized people in our community who make a difference every year, presenting awards to individuals, groups, or businesses that have helped make a lasting impact on the quality of life in Burnsville. In light of this year's pandemic, our 2020 awards take on special meaning. You all belong here. On behalf of the City Council, I'm proud to present 8 Community Builder Awards, and I'd like to ask the winners to please come to the presentation area when I read your name to receive your award and take a picture. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we will not take a full group picture like we do every year, but we want to capture this moment and memorialize it, and we have our photographer here, so thank you so much, Kristen, for doing that. So the first recipient of the award, of our Community Builders Award, is Amy Burrell, Burnsville Convention and Visitors Bureau. First, Amy has been instrumental in celebrating the Burnsville community, finding innovative solutions for residents and visitors' engagement throughout this year's pandemic. As Executive Director of the Burnsville Convention and Visitors Bureau, known as Experience Burnsville, Amy does an excellent job of promoting local restaurants and hotels. She welcomes visitors to the city by highlighting all that our community has to offer. Rising to the challenges of this year, Amy created online games and activities using Burnsville locations and amenities to keep people engaged during the stay-at-home orders. She has partnered with the city for many events, including the successful Tour de Flavor. Her ability to connect with people and organizations is essential to our community's strength as local businesses experience the impact of COVID-19. Amy partnered with the Chamber to get out information on business assistance. Amy, thank you for your contribution to our city and for being a community builder. And Amy, if you would come up, please. So hang on to that, and I would like to pin you. Is that okay?
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody stand up. Melanie. Oh.
I was going to say smile, but nobody's going to see it.
Smile, look at your eyes.
One moment.
We got masks on.
Okay, everybody, wait. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Smiling or not?
thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, come on, yeah. The water's warm over
I
here.
kind of like when you came last.
Okay, then the next recipient is Emily and Andrew Hayden, Kids and Kinship Volunteers. So if Emily and Andrew, Mr. and Mrs. Hayden.
They're here. They're coming.
Oh, they're coming.
sitting over here.
Please come in. Okay. So Mr. and Mrs. Hayden are making a difference in our community by dedicating their time and energy to supporting youth as volunteer mentors through the Kids and Kinship program. They get together weekly with their 13-year-old mentee, welcoming him in their home, going on adventures throughout the city, or simply tossing a ball around the backyard. Emily and Andrew regularly attend his football games, providing encouragement and support in countless ways. They have 3 kids of their own. Daniel is 5, Micah is 3, and Joseph is 1.5. There's Joseph out there.
It's a little intimidating. Yeah.
Even with their busy family, they find time to give back. They serve as role models for this young adult while also giving him a chance to be a positive role model for their sons. Emily and Andrew's dedication, care, and guidance has helped this young man through many difficult times. And it doesn't stop there. Andrew also coaches high school cross country, and Emily volunteers with the prison ministry as pen pal coordinators. Thank you, Emily and Andrew. And so, Emily and Andrew, if you would come up, please. First, I'm going to ask if I can pin you with the Make a Difference symbol, and it's a starfish, so may I pin you?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi.
He'd be your doctor.
No, I'm sorry. Thinks I'm a doctor. I'm not going to give you a
And you have
Oh, yeah.
And you have a pokey thing in your hand.
Okay, so you want to come here, and so you come stand next to me. Come.
Wow.
Okay, here you go.
All
Yeah,
dark
you-
masks.
Okay. Okay, you want to turn around? Okay, thank you.
Well done.
Thanks for your doctor.
Sucker for
Your doctor. Please ask her.
No, I just had a shot last week.
Oh. Our next honoree is Jennifer Harmony. This year has been difficult for so many of our local businesses, and Jennifer has been instrumental in helping businesses weather the COVID-19 pandemic. As president of the Burnsville Chamber of Commerce, Jennifer has shown outstanding leadership and support for our community. She has kept Burnsville businesses informed of stimulus programs, grants, and various other types of assistance. She has orchestrated numerous webinars and online seminars to keep businesses updated on changes and new opportunities. Her outreach is not exclusive to Chamber members, but extends to all Burnsville businesses. She has also partnered with the city on numerous programs and has worked tirelessly to keep the Chamber viable despite substantial loss of revenue. Jennifer's dedication to our business community has a lasting effect on all of us and is vital to making Burnsville a great place to live, work, and play. Thank you, Jennifer, for all your efforts and your hard work. First, may I pin you?
Thank you.
Oops. I don't want to ruin your jacket.
She wore a bulletproof vest tonight.
No, I just had to dress warm for the lovely October weather.
Okay. So everybody? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Skip a picture before you get out there. I think you zoom in on just her.
The next recipient is Todd Buchwald. And Mr. Buchwald was nominated for this award by Ryan Peterson from Burnsville Public Works Department. Come on in. When restaurants were forced to restrict indoor dining as part of the health pandemic, Todd proactively reached out to the Public Works Department with a great idea for offering support. As many restaurants were struggling to create outdoor dining options, picnic tables were difficult and costly to obtain. Todd suggested that we lend city-owned picnic tables to those restaurants. Typically, the city's supply of these tables would not be available, but because large gatherings were not allowed, we had some flexibility. Public Works responded and worked with the Community Development Department to get tables distributed. At least 20 tables were distributed to 6 local restaurants. Todd's ability to find creative solutions and his willingness to reach out to the city with this idea made a huge difference for our businesses, our restaurants. Thank you, Todd, for being an engaged citizen and sharing your fantastic ideas. May I pin you? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you know, Todd is a new resident, and they got engaged with the community right away. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor, can I say to Todd, I eat at most of those restaurants, so thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you. Thank you for your
Our next recipient is Ms. Renita Eidenschig. So, I know she's here. So this has been the year of virtual connections and online community, so it is very fitting that we celebrate Renita's contributions. In 2016, Renita started a Facebook group called Burnsville Beehive and serves as the administrator of the page. This group has grown into an online community with over 1,600 members to date. This is a Burnsville-centric spot where community members share information such as food drives, lost dogs, new businesses, recommendations and services, local events, and so much more. As the administrator of the page, Renita does a great job of moderating and sparking conversations with a cross-section of the Burnsville community. As it says on her page, this group is for people who love Burnsville. Renita, we celebrate your love for our city and thank you for providing a positive online community for us all to connect and share. And so if you can come forward. Thank you for everything you do. May I pin you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much. This is going to be the year when all the pictures come out. We're all in and face coverings. Our next award goes to the 30-Day Foundation and Mick Sterling Presents. And I think they're here. He's just walking in through the door.
Just got here.
And he heard me. Come on in. As we were all going a little stir-crazy from limited opportunities for entertainment, the 30-Day Foundation and Mick Sterling Presents stepped in with their Summer Relief Drive-In Concert Series. These summer concerts grew from Friday evenings in July at Civic Center Park to full-day events in late August and early September. They offered free local performances during the day, followed by ticketed concerts in the evening, every day for 12 consecutive days. Not only did these concerts offer a safe, fun entertainment option for the Burnsville community, proceeds from the event benefited Good in the Hood and Loaves and Fishes, 2 Minnesota nonprofit organizations that provide meals and service to those in need. Organizing events
during the pandemic is no easy task, and they had to navigate attendance restriction, online tickets, assigned parking spots, and social distance parameters. They did all this and more with great success. Thank you, 30 Day Foundation and McSturley Presents, for providing a much-needed safe night out and giving back to the community in so many ways. Okay, and if you guys can come up. Hi. So can I pin you guys? And you guys know the story about the starfish, right? Okay, and it's a symbol for making a difference. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, wait a minute. You can do your presentation after we present for you. Okay.
Sorry for being late.
It's okay. We got the, yeah. If you can be here. And so we'll present this. So. Okay, thank you. So,
Thank you very much.
what would you like?
This was the banner that hung across the stage.
Yes? Yes.
And over the 48 shows in 12 days, every musician who stepped out on that stage, every sound tech, stagehand, all signed this thing over the 48 shows over 12 days. Historical moment during the state fair run.
Yeah.
And we're kind of hoping maybe it would wind up in the walls of the garage or something.
Okay. Well, thank you, and I will accept it graciously on behalf of the City Council and our community.
Thank you very
And
much.
I'll present it to our city manager.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'll to our city clerk. Thank you. Thank you. Our next recipient goes to Costco Warehouse. And Costco Warehouse was nominated by Burnsville Fire Chief B.J. Jungman. Costco Warehouse reached out to the Burnsville Fire and Police Department in March at the beginning of the state of Minnesota's quarantine to offer the department's first chance to purchase extra cases of bottled water, bleach, and hand sanitizers prior to the public distribution. As you likely remember, these commodities were becoming very limited or often out of stock. Burnsville Fire and Police Department appreciate Costco's warehouse in assisting us with keeping needed supplies on hand to serve and protect the community. Thank you, Costco. Please come forward. And you tell John we thank him and everyone.
I will do that.
Yes. And I'll bring a pin for him when I come into the store next. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Okay, and she has a box for you.
Smiling for no reason. I know.
It makes your eyes crinkle.
But your eyes are squinting. We all got these big grins.
But you could be giving somebody a nasty stick.
And our last recipient is Kevin Whitley from Home Depot. He may be the last, but not least, and would like to honor Home Depot. The state of Minnesota's quarantine last spring presented a number of challenges for first responders, and therefore Fire Chief Jungman has made another nomination and would like to honor Home Depot. Kevin Whitley, manager of Burnsville's Home Depot store, reached out to the fire department in mid-March with an offer to donate 80 3M performance respirators for firefighters to use as needed. This offer came at a crucial time when respirators were limited or not available. We appreciate Home Depot for their generous donation to keep our personnel safe so that we could continue to serve and protect the community. To Home Depot and all of our 2020 Community Builders Award honorees, thank you for your community pride, your spirit, and for making a difference in our community. And Kevin, would you come forward, please? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's Amy's, I think.
Spread them out and get them all.
Can you turn the TV around so we can see Julie? The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. This is the opportunity for anyone in the audience to address the council on an item that is not on the printed agenda and not an application form that will be coming before us at a future date. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council? Anyone? Is there anyone in queue that is? Okay. Very good. We will then move on. The next item is for additions to the final agenda. And this is the opportunity, this is only for emergency items. Ms. Mascoli, are there any emergency items to come before the body?
There are not, Madam Mayor.
Members of the council? Okay, thank you. We will move on to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is a group of items that's considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion. However, an item on a consent agenda can be pulled and for a separate discussion and vote. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes an item on a consent agenda to be removed for a separate discussion and vote? Ms. Mascoli,
No, Madam Mayor.
members of the council, I believe Councilmember Schultz, you wanted an item?
Yeah, I did. Yep, I have one
Okay, I
item.
believe you wanted K.
Yes, please, if I could have K pulled.
Item K is pulled for a separate discussion and vote. May I have a vote for the balance, please?
So moved.
Councilmember Gustafson makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Workman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Councilmember Schultz, K is to accept the bid and award the contracts for the Nicollet Commons Park Water Feature Improvement, Project 20-405. Bid Package 1, Water Features and Underground Utilities, and Bid Package 2, Electrical Controls and Audio. Mr. Peterson, you will be giving a brief summary of the background.
Yes, I can certainly do that. As you can tell from the background item, we've worked hard to get bid packages together for the project. We've split that into 3 different bid packages, of which 2 are presented here tonight for potential approval. The reason why I'm thinking this is pulled is the budgetary reasons, and I can understand that most certainly. As was discussed at the work session a month or 2 ago, this was a very difficult project for us to estimate the costs on. There's just not much like it around there. Unfortunately, the bids did come in a way that is going to be challenging to us. We had $750,000 in the budget for this renovation, and then we were told to include $500,000 in park dedication costs for enhancements to the system. Once we've got the 2 bids in, we actually have the 3rd bid package in. That's not for consideration tonight, but the estimate for the entire project would be needed $1,750,000 as opposed to the $750,000 that was in the budget in order to complete this renovation on our prized park system, or park that we have in our system. So in order to make the recommendation to move forward, what's going to be required is moving out by 1 year. A lot of our asphalt improvement projects that were proposed for the following year. We had a number of parking lots, and we had trails in our system that were not necessarily the ones used all the time, not the ones around Early Lake, Sunset Pond, those kinds of ones that are more internal ones, and some basketball courts. So we would push all those out by year, and then it would have a cascading effect out into the future years. Basically, our CIP of $1 million would be moved out by 1 year in order to have this completed this year. Part of it is we've worked with the contractors to reduce their bids by a little bit. And what they would do that is they would give us to July 4th as opposed to Memorial Day when we were forced to, or when the bids, the specs, as they stated. So they would reduce it, it's reducing their risk on not being able to complete the project on time. So in exchange for that, they would complete work orders with us, and then that would get us down to that budget that I just discussed. So Jeff Raddick, our Assistant Public Works Director, is also here. He can answer any specific questions. But we could, I mean, the other option on this is to reject the bids and, come back at another time, most likely it would be this winter, and state, or you could have the project right after Labor Day 2021 and be done by Memorial Day 2022. We don't know. Would that be successful at reducing the costs? It's possible. It also is possible that time would also increase the cost. We did only get one bidder per bid package here, so that would be the one reason why we may think to do that. But our recommendation is to move forward with the project as we've laid out here tonight, and understand that these will be pushed out. One thing I would like to state is these are the asphalt projects that wouldn't be completed or would be pushed out a year. We'd patch them in order to keep them together. This wouldn't be a situation where we were hoping to rehabilitate something, and now by not doing that, the improvement got incrementally more expensive. These are already things that just need to get replaced in totality. So the level of service will go down, but we're not anticipating an increased cost to complete those improvements moving into the future, if that makes sense, what I'm saying on that. So I'd turn over to Jeff if you have anything else to add. Otherwise, he is here to answer any questions as well.
Okay. Councilmember Schultz, is there anything else that you would like to
If
ask
you
of
could
staff?
just, and my apologies, just so that I have the numbers correct. Could you go over what let me preface this. You absolutely did say when you guys were estimating this that this was a little bit of the dark arts going into this, right? So I'm completely understanding of that. I think you've also found some good ways to mitigate impacts on how this works. You were very thoughtful in looking at which trails, which basketball courts, that type of thing. Very thoughtful in that. Could you go through, because there are 3 bids, and I know we're looking at 2 of them, but they're connected, what the estimated was and what we budgeted, and then what it is presently, just so that those numbers are clear.
Can I take it from here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Bid package 1 and 2 are kind of intermingled. The rehab portion of the budget is $750,000. The enhancements portion of the budget is $500,000. For bid package 1, $990,000 goes to the rehab. $261,000 goes to, of bid package 2 goes to the rehab. $241,000 of bid package 1 goes to the enhancements. $286,000 of bid package 2 goes to the enhancements. So roughly, the enhancements are on budget, we are over budget about 500,000 on rehab portion. Then plus you add all of our indirect costs to the rehab portion. That's how we get to the 1.7 million total.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And if I may, and then I'll
Yeah.
be done. So seeing as our overage is the amount of the enhancements themselves, is there any appetite by the council to discuss removing the enhancements? I have a feeling it's going to be a no, but I thought I would ask anyway.
Members of the council, we've gone over all of this, and we understand what it was going to be. We have bid package.
But the costs changed, so I just wanted to give the opportunity.
And there is-
Because their costs
yeah.
changed, and it was by a significant amount, I think it's just worth asking.
Yeah, and staff has a solution, and if the council is agreeing to the solution that staff is offering, we can certainly do all of it. Do the park, as well as just pushing out the, I think, the asphalt work.
And basketball courts.
For a year.
And trails.
Yeah, so members of the council, do you want to make any changes? Councilmember Keeley and then Councilmember Workman.
Well, shuffling projects around is not unusual. That happens every year, so that's whether we get in a situation where a project comes in over budget or not, we're constantly doing that, so that's not a big ask as a solution. I think that's just fine. My concern on this, I certainly don't like where the cost came in, but we learned this isn't like repaving a street where there's 8 bidders. And so it's very unique work. It's not highly desirable work by contractors, so I'm glad we got some takers. Obviously, there's somebody out there that will do the work, but it's too bad there's not more than one in each of these areas. But this is our central park. It's the centerpiece of our heart of the city, and I can't imagine having it shut down for another summer, waiting in hopes that we might save money. And at the same time, I think the water features were something I was very, I was advocating for. I was very strong on doing because I think this is the park to do that kind of thing in because it is such a central and heavily used park. My only real consideration or concern is, we've had to spend a lot of money on this park. First, because the design was not actually, I think we maybe missed a few steps in doing some vetting to find out what kind of water feature we should have put in there to build something like that and not realize that people weren't going to play in it all day, I think was just a real bad miss. That cost us $500,000 or more to put in pool quality filtration system. And then we get down here, I don't know what year that was, maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And then here we are down the road, and now we're having to put $1 million in repairs in because we've got an underground leak. This is not a project that has been light on the budget from day one. And I just want to make sure that when this work is done and we do these enhancements, that 4 years from now, we're not back going, oh, we need another $500,000 because now this is broken or this needs to be repaired. It seems to be a bit of a Murphy's Law on this so far with the way this is going. But I believe in the park. I believe in the significance of the park. And I believe that it is something that we need to make the investment in to make it better. I really hope that it's done right to the quality level that we don't have to keep coming back and having this size of maintenance ever again in the future. Thank you.
Okay. Councilmember Workman?
Dan kind of touched on a lot of the points I was going to make. I don't know that I would justify this type of move on any other park in our community, but this is kind of a staple. We're going to see the rest of this area fill in, and this appears to be, hopefully, besides just some general maintenance along the way, the fix that would, again, hopefully prevent having to have these types of discussions again. So we can fix those kind of fatal flaws and put it behind us and add some enhancements that I think the community is asking for. So I'm comfortable with this plan, and I applaud Ryan and his staff for finding a solution internally. It sounds like the projects that we're pushing back aren't in dire need right now, that they're maybe not the most used areas. You know, they're not crumbling, and they can afford to wait maybe one more summer before we get fresh ground on them. So I'm comfortable with the application as presented.
Okay. Councilmember Schultz?
Thank you. I too am very hopeful. I would rather that the money be spent on the rehab and it be done right. So I completely understand that. I also have a concern, and I know you're going to watch for this. Like any rehab project, once you open it up, there's usually little extra surprises. So we're going to cross our fingers on that. Right. And I do hope that this is fixed, that it looks wonderful and it's very functional for everyone. Again, this is something that our residents do use. People outside of Burnsville use this. People really do enjoy it. I have no problem with that. I will point out, though, that with the extra costs and the enhancements, even though we are pushing off projects, we are still going above our budget. So just so everyone's aware of that. And yes, I know that the council's very excited about this. I'm sure our residents will be very excited for it when it's done. I know you'll do a wonderful job with it, and it will turn out very well. But I would be remiss if, when we came in $500,000 over budget and the enhancements are $500,000, not to ask my city council to reconsider, especially in this business climate. So thank you very much, though. I do appreciate it.
Okay, members of the council, may I have a vote?
Move to approve.
Councilmember Gustafson makes the motion.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Workman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
No,
Did you say nay, Councilmember Schultz?
I did. Thank you.
Does the clerk have the division of the House?
I do, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. We now move on
Madam
to the
Mayor?
regular agenda, and the first item on the regular agenda.
Ryan's asking.
Madam Mayor.
Yes,
Well, could I just say, we, on behalf of Jeff and the park staff, we really appreciate the support on this. It's hard to come in and say, you know, we're $1 million over, so I don't take it at all lightly, and I take your words of confidence in us that we can get this thing done very seriously. So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and we're gonna do everything we can to make this thing fly in on July 4th, and hopefully we all can be out there. So just wanted to share our appreciation and your understanding for that. So thank you.
and Mr.
Absolutely.
Peterson, I do appreciate your words and commend you and your staff, because throughout your tenure here, you have always made it a point to speak your truth about the projects that come before us. And this is not unusual. We've had projects go over budget. I remember some where I had to email and say, what was the engineer's estimate again? And in doing that, I get my questions answered, and then I understand where the overages were and the solutions that you have put into it. And so I thank you for that. And also, one of the things that we have to do with this project, because it's not going to open on Memorial Day in 2021, when we have communicated with our residents that the park will be open on Memorial Day 2021. So I think we need to continue to communicate and let people know, so we manage expectations. And because there are a lot of families, and you know as well as I, all of the emails we received by people who were disappointed that the park wasn't open. So,
We concur and we'll make it happen.
yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now at the regular agenda, and this is a public hearing. We're to approve an on-sale Sunday, on-sale and brew pub off-sale liquor license for Brixworth Beer Company LLC to be located at 12257 Nicollet Avenue, Suite B. And presenting this evening, our city clerk, Mrs. Collins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Brixworth Beer Company has submitted a liquor license application. This is to be able to provide on-sale intoxicating liquor on-site and also to sell growlers for off-sale consumption. The investigation was conducted on the main principal, Mr. Cooper Johnson, and Mr. Johnson is available in the lobby for any questions. Nothing was found to deny the license. Your background indicates that the license is contingent upon approval of all reviews and payment of all fees, and I believe all the fees have been paid as of yesterday.
Okay.
I stand for any questions. This is a public hearing.
Do you have any questions for Ms. Collins?
No, thank you, Ms. Collins, but after the public hearing, I'd like to hear from Cooper Johnson.
Okay. This is a public hearing. I will now open the public hearing, and he was trying not to say anything.
That's not gonna happen.
So, Mr. Johnson, please come in and give us your name and address for the record. And I think everybody just wants to know about when I know you're open.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
The only reason I didn't want to speak is I was going to run home and change before this, but the weather
You're in good company.
didn't permit. I'm Cooper Johnson, 1047 14th Avenue Southeast, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. So, any questions for Mr. Johnson?
When are you opening?
We've been open for
They've been open.
takeout food
Yeah.
for the last 2 weekends. We're going to do that again this weekend with some beer to go as well. I just have to take the packet tomorrow morning to the state to get stamped.
I have some tenants in my building that want to know when they can actually come and
They
be in your place.
We've been treating the Fridays and Saturdays as something of a soft open where people can come and check it out. So they're welcome this weekend, 4 to 9, Friday and
And I
Saturday.
just have one more question, I'm done.
Okay.
What is a Detroit-style pizza?
Detroit style is a steel pan pizza, so it has kind of the crispy edges where you see the blackened cheese and the cheese crown all the way around it.
Nice.
So it kind of turns the worst part of pizza into the best part of pizza.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilmember Schultz.
This is probably gonna break my heart. Do you have gluten-free?
We do.
Oh, God,
We do. And
I love you.
we are looking for volunteers to help us fine tune our gluten-free crust.
I will so help you.
It's in-house. I sampled one this morning, but I think it's still bordering a little bit too much on the corn rather than rice. But the texture is good, and it's really, really good.
Just so you know, if she likes her restaurant, she goes there 2 or 3 times a week.
Good, perfect,
I'm pretty awful.
awesome.
Okay, Councilmember Keeley.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. I know that you got a nice write-up, I believe, in the newspaper. It was a good article. But for those that don't get the paper, I'd love to hear your campaign speech for your elevator pitch for your concept, the idea behind it, and what people can expect when they arrive.
Absolutely, yeah. Our goal is to bring exciting beer to this part of the metro, and we want to be an area where the community can congregate. So the space is large, and that's deliberate so that it'll be family friendly. And I have a background of doing this. We've done it in St. Paul, and it's a place where nobody has a reason not to show up. So we'll have beer, we'll have gluten-free alcoholic beverage options, wine, and pizza that's really pretty spectacular, if I do say so myself.
Okay.
Was this the original name that you were going with all along? Was it always going to be Brickworth? Or was there
Yeah.
something else that was mentioned at one point?
Yeah, it was Brixworth Beer Company. It was
Gotcha.
always, and it's inspired by the brick cheese we use on the pizza.
Awesome. One last question. Are you gonna do a Goza by chance?
Yeah,
Oh, my,
yes, absolutely.
my German
bunch of
wife
foodies
is
up here.
excited to try that one.
Yeah, good. And
She's a
we're-
connoisseur of Gozas, apparently.
We're doing a beer in collaboration with the city, so we're just waiting for final details and who exactly will come and help brew and
Yeah.
pour some grain into the mash tun and things like that, so.
Cooper, are you still gonna call it the You Belong beer?
Whatever we decide collectively,
Yeah.
but I think that kind of has a nice ring to it.
It does have a nice ring, doesn't it,
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long beer.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah. So, well, Mr. Johnson, you know, this is a celebration, so thank you for
Absolutely.
choosing Burnsville to be the home of your second endeavor.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for bringing your concept to Burnsville. We really
Very-
appreciate it.
Very happy
Yeah.
to be here, thank you very
Yeah.
much.
You belong here.
Congratulations.
Behind
And,
every entrepreneur, there's a supporting member of the family, I would
That's my
think.
mom.
Well,
go.
welcome, Mom. Okay, very good. So if there's no one else to speak on this public hearing, I will close the public hearing. Members of the council, your pleasure.
Move to approve?
Second.
Councilmember Keely makes the motion, second by Councilmember Workman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. And the motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank
you
And
very much.
we'll be there, and I think we'll be having a ribbon cutting.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and I
some-
will be there.
And some of you will help brew beer
Yeah.
in the next few weeks, I'm
Yeah.
sure. so.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
God, I
Okay,
want that
the
pizza
next
right now.
item on our agenda is the COVID-19 response update, and Mr. Lindberg is going to be giving this report. Mr. Lindberg?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Just one brief update tonight. We continue to work through our recovery efforts as a result of the pandemic, and I'm going to turn it over to our city clerk, Michelle Collins, who will give us an update on elections.
Okay, Ms. Collins, it's been a busy place.
Thank you, Mr. Lindberg and Madam Mayor. Yes, absentee voting did start here at City Hall on Friday, September 18th, when voters were the first time able to vote absentee. And since that time, we have gotten 19,327 requests for absentee ballots. Granted, this was about 4:30 when I checked these numbers, so that could have went up since then. But, and overall, so far, we've received back 12,656. If we're looking at, so about 65% return so far. We still have 2 full weeks to go before Election Day. In comparison, in 2018, we had a total of 9,142, so less than half. And in 2016, 9,754, and that was the record up until till this election. In 2016, our last presidential election, we did get 94% of our absentee ballots back. So we are expecting a lot more ballots to come back. The direct balloting that people call it early voting, where you can come and put your ballot directly into the ballot counter during the absentee period, will begin on next Tuesday, October 27th. That's 1 week before the election. One of the things that one of the most important things that I want absentee voters from home to know is that you cannot deliver your absentee ballot to your precinct. It must come to City Hall. And if you're delivering it in person, it needs to be here by 3 p.m. on Election Day. Due to COVID, we are accepting absentee ballots that are postmarked by Election Day for up to 7 days after.
But it has to be postmarked
It has to be
on November
postmarked
3rd.
By November 3rd,
Yeah.
correct.
Councilmember Workman?
What, how does that play into the drop-off box outside? Is that gonna be locked shut at,
The drop box will be locked at 3 p.m. on Election Day. We no longer taking walk-ins or drop box.
so we're just gonna close that and?
The drop box gets locked at 3 p.m.
Okay,
We put a little sign on it.
closed.
Councilmember Gustafson?
So I get a lot of questions from people about how we handle the polling at the polling places, and in particular, what happens if someone doesn't want to wear a mask when they vote, and how do we work with them so they're able to vote? And could you explain that whole process?
Sure, and this is very similar to how people who would wear like political advertisements, like hats and buttons and stuff. It's a similar principle where we tell the person that it is against the law. The law says that you have to wear a mask, or the law says that you can't campaign in the polling place by wearing your button. If they refuse, we still have to let them vote, of course, because we can't disenfranchise somebody their right to vote. But we write it down on our incident log that, the rule was, or the law was broken. That's all we do.
And what happens with that log then?
So the logs, the incident logs that these things are written down on, they are turned over to the county, and the county attorney can, at their pleasure, do whatever they want with those infractions.
Are you aware of them ever doing anything?
I'm not aware that they ever have.
Okay, thank you.
But we have to abide by the law,
No,
that's
I
what
get
you're
that.
saying.
I'm just- I think people out in the public need
Yeah.
to understand that.
You just don't want people to be scared.
Yeah,
What's that?
You just don't want people to be
No,
scared.
I don't. I
Yeah.
want them to
Yeah.
just feel safe that they can go,
Right.
and we have ways to deal with it.
yeah.
And you wanna wear your Gustafson shirt to the polling
Yeah.
place.
Okay, are there any other questions for Ms.
Can I sign
Collins?
this year?
Any other questions for Ms. Collins and Mr. Lindberg? Okay, thank you so much. And thank you, Ms. Collins. I think, is there anything that you think the public needs to know about the process now, and also on the day of election? Is there anything that you think is missing that you?
Well, I think there's so many people voting absentee this year in comparison to past years, and this is maybe their first time doing that. So the process is fairly simple. Some people don't know that you can come to City Hall and do the absentee process before the actual early voting or direct balloting starts on October 27th. So this has actually been going on at City Hall since September 18th. So we are open 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. We are also going to be open on Saturday, October 31st, Halloween Day, from 10 to 3. So if voters can't make it during the week, we have a Saturday option. If they have any other questions, feel free to give me a call here at City Hall.
I think that is the information that I wanted you to let people know, that process of voting is going on right now, and they can come into City Hall and vote.
That's true. We were a little slow today. I think the snow kept people away.
Yeah, the snow kept people out. Okay, thank you.
It's Tuesday.
All right.
We got here, and
yeah.
so did all our Community Builder Award winners. It
Yeah.
was great.
If there is nothing else to come before the body this evening, a motion to adjourn is in order.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Councilmember Schultz makes the motion, second by
Third,
Councilmember Keeley. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay, and the motion carries.
Aye,
And
Joel.
thank you, Mr. Jamnik,
Thanks,
for
Joel.
being present. We didn't have anything controversial for you to navigate the legal aspects of it for us.
We could